We bro! Hey everyone, how we doing? If you don't know me, my name is Rod. I'm a healthcare worker, content creator, and also I'm very big into finance. I believe that everyone in some way, shape, form, or fashion can find some stability in life and getting themselves financially free, but it has certain levels to it. But that's not why I'm here. The reason I'm here is because a lot of you may have not picked up the internet in a while. I'm going to post up a few articles throughout this entire video basically stating why today's so somber. If you read the title, then you already know. The state of Georgia is now beginning to have what a lot of other people have been experiencing throughout the country. Our hospitals are hemorrhaging money. We all knew that this day would come. We all saw it coming one way or another. I mean, due to the coronavirus, a lot of hospitals stopped completely taking outpatients. A lot of hospitals stopped doing surgeries. A lot of hospitals stopped doing radiographic exams, which is my field. A lot of hospitals stopped doing all those things that make the hospital money. Outside of surgery and radiology department, those are your two money makers. Once you stop those two, then it's destined to fail. Everything else costs money. Nursing, believe it or not, we need nurses, but they cost money. Elective procedures are the ones that make the money because they can charge insurance companies so much amount of money. Right now, this post is primarily about the state of Georgia and its current state in healthcare. Two of our largest hospital systems, Emory Healthcare and Piedmont Healthcare, have just released statements saying that they are anywhere between $100 to $300 million in deficit currently, and that they expect that by the year's end to be close to $600 million in deficit. Ouch. And if any one of you guys have seen any mobster movie ever, then you know when stuff starts happening up top, somebody's gonna get whacked. People are gonna get whacked off at the bottom. So that's what's happening. I'll just start by going down each hospital's release and say that first, Piedmont stated that they're going to do furloughs of about 4% of their staff, which means that's going to be around 2,000 or so people who are going to basically be out of a job. Now, I'm going to elaborate on what exactly is a furlough, because a lot of hospitals are offering options to their employees before they actually start furloughing. Piedmont, honestly, is I think a little further along. They kind of want to go ahead and stop the bleeding as much as possible, as soon as possible, so they're a little proactive. Other hospitals are giving employees options, and so that's kind of what this post is going to mainly be pertaining to. And I'm going to explain to you, if you work in a hospital setting, what options you have or should propose to your facility in order to kind of decrease the deficit on spending. Where I would like to begin is the fact that there are a lot of hospitals who are already putting in play certain things that they're harsh now, but the employees get to keep their jobs, and they allow the hospital to save on their monthly expenses on things that they give as benefits of being an employee for certain companies. There's a certain thing called continuation payments, which a few hospitals have completely stopped doing. If you aren't aware, continuation payment is if a person who's exhausted all of their PTO still can't come back to work. Some hospitals, some companies continue to pay their employee even though they don't have any PTO. That, for a lot of hospitals, has completely stopped. Those employees either have to make a decision to go into furlough status or just find another place to work. And before I get too deep, I kind of want to elaborate on what exactly a furlough is. It's not the first time it's happened. A lot of furloughs happened back in 2008, 2009. So if you guys go back and look at those, look at what happened in the postal service industry, look at what happened also in hospital setting. It's nothing new, but for the people who may have started to work in the hospital setting after 2009, this kind of goes into detail of what exactly a furlough is. Furlough status is when an employee is released of his or her duties from the company. They are still under the company's umbrella as employees technically, but you are no longer getting paid. You also are no longer collecting paid time off, and you aren't getting any more benefits outside of your insurance and your health care benefits. So if your employer offers any type of incentives, any paid programs for education, any rental car programs, any programs for travel, those have immediately been halted if you go in a furlough status. All you're getting, if they're nice enough, some companies don't even do that, but for the most part, they'll pay for your insurance and your dental while you're in furlough status. Now, that being said, while you're in furlough status, even though you're receiving insurance and dental, you still have the ability in most cases to file unemployment. A lot of people are doing so. In a lot of hospital cases, they prepared for this. That's why they released a press statement. Believe me, they were planning on doing this weeks ago. Now they have a person who's assigned to each hospital facility who is there to help people kind of guide you through the unemployment status filing process, because a lot of people have questions. A lot of people never filed unemployment before, so they just don't know how. I'm going to put a link in the description that kind of tells you if you qualify to be able to file unemployment or not. But I just wanted to say, as my own personal message, it's okay to file unemployment at these times. We knew they would come. A lot of companies are going to experience this. A lot of companies are going to have hardships. It's a pandemic. It's ravishing the world. So a lot of people are experiencing things that have never happened in their entire generation. And it's happened now with us within 10 years of each other. Another thing to consider is the fact that you have the option of furloughing yourself. If you want to take some time off and your company is fine with it, you want to take a week off or a month off, and you have the financial capabilities to do so, then go right ahead. But before you decide to do so, definitely take a look at your finances and make sure that you're capable of doing so. And also talk to your leadership. Make sure that they're aware of what you're considering to do, and that their company or their department may not even be in dire straits as other departments. They're doing it on a departmental level, definitely looking at everyone's budget and seeing who can trim some of the fat, so to speak. Another large benefit that I'm sure we all love and hate to see go right now, but a lot of hospitals are doing it, your 403b and 401k, they are not contributing to those right now. A lot of hospitals have completely stopped contributing or matching your contribution to your 403b or 401k. It's been a privilege that we all have been able to benefit from for years, and they can't do it right now. I'm sure that most hospitals will start that process back up as soon as they're capable of doing so, as soon as this thing starts to sort itself out, as soon as they're able to open themselves back up to outpatient facilities and also surgeries. But for now, a lot of hospitals just can't afford it. They can't afford to contribute. But you should still be contributing to your 403b and 401k as long as you are good financially. If you watch some of my previous videos, I tell you what exactly to do with your student loans. And now your credit cards, you need to make sure that some credit card companies allow you to defer some payments or defer your interest. You should be doing so, because right now you need to be creating some capital for yourself. Also trying to pay off some of your built up debt. Try to free up as much capital right now as possible, but not saving it. You have to make sure you're able to provide for your family. And if your healthcare facility is one that's considering doing furloughs and they're open for opinions and hadn't already tried, you may want to propose the process we call flexing here. It may go by a different name other places. Flexing is just basically when you decide to come in later or leave earlier in an effort to save a couple hours off of the entire department's budget. So it's done at a smaller level. It gives you your full benefits, and it also allows you to use your paid time off. But that's one of the caveats. You have to use your paid time off. If you're a full-time employee and you flex or you clock out early, then it's law. You have to use your paid time off to get to your full-time employee status. You can't have one without the other, because it's illegal for them to say that you can clock out and you have 35, 36 hours and you still have PTO. They got to give that PTO to you. So definitely consider that flexing as an option. If it's not, then you're getting furloughed. And I almost forgot, if you are a person working in a hospital right now, I think it's safe to say you're not getting a merit increase this year. Like, nobody's getting a raise. Nobody's getting probably hired right now in the near future. Everybody who is non-essential or non-clinical staff, you are not being hired. So if you're that assistant manager, if you're that director of something, if you're legal aid, whatever department you work in that's not a nurse, tech, something like that, you are not getting hired right now. So you should definitely look at different options, maybe working from home, doing something else, freelance work, because hospitals just are not bringing on new staff right now, and they are definitely not giving raises or merit increases this year, so be prepared for that. A large question that a lot of people had when most of the hospitals started doling out their statements about being in such a bad financial situation was regarding the CARES Act. Mainly, a lot of us knew that the CARES Act allotted certain billions of dollars towards hospitals in this time of need, and a lot of hospitals have not received that money yet. That's one thing we need to understand. Some hospitals are still 10 weeks out or months out at the earliest before they even receive a penny of the money from the CARES Act. And one big thing that we need to understand, that the money that was allotted to these hospitals through Medicare and Medicaid, these were loans. They have to pay those back in 10 weeks from the time that they were dispersed. They just got to be paid back. Hospitals are very frantic right now. They're looking on having that on top of added pressure of not having their workload or the amount of clientele that they need to operate. So it's a stressful time, to say the least. And let's understand that even when these grants from the CARES Act kick in, the grants that they don't have to pay back, it won't cover a fraction of what they owe. Most hospitals owe, as I previously stated, between $200 and $600 million. Even if they were to receive $100 million, that probably cover what they lost in the month of February and March. They still got to worry about April, May, and June. So you should definitely be pulling resources and dialing it back, because I don't see anything changing for the next few months. No one's really traveling again. No one's going outside to get hurt, which sucks to say, but we need hurt people to be in a hospital so we can treat you. We need plastic surgeries. We need people who have abdominal issues to be coming in for surgeries. We're slowly starting to ramp up those processes, but until then, you just got to stay the course and hope for the best. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I'm going to be posting again. I'm trying to do this thing weekly, as I always say, even though I don't do it, but here's the life.